This is Randy Rosetta with HubCityPreps.com with the video edition of the Tiger Cracks podcast, sponsored by Southwest Bank. With Chase Campbell and Noah Lopez, we're talking District 2 6A, and I just told Coach I wanted to talk to a couple of older guys because this is when the season kind of hits the gas pedal a little bit. You guys have been through this a bunch before. What's the mood been like? I know you've had a couple weeks to get ready, but when you got to work this week, could you kind of sense a little bit more sense of urgency, Chase?
Yes, sir. Just knowing that we only have 5 games guaranteed left, and knowing that the past is in the past and that we can still be 5-0 district champs is a good feeling. Knowing that whatever happened last few weeks doesn't matter. It's time to go now.
Yeah, because Noah, with maybe one exception the last several years, this is when you guys have kind of found your gear, kind of found what you needed to be doing. Do you feel like this team is right now in the right headspace where it needs to be going into district?
I think so. We've had a lot of energy, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I haven't seen them, but during our practice, we're getting after it and ready to go beat the district.
I imagine you haven't seen much of them because you're getting ready for a triple option offense, unless Chase wants to play triple option.
Yeah.
And Quaid, I bet you're not going to see that much. What have you guys learned in 5 weeks? It's been a little bit of a roller coaster. You guys very easily could be 4-1. I don't think you could have. There's other games that you could have done some things different. But what have you learned in those 5 weeks, those 5 games?
We've learned that we're a very good team and that we can, if we just tweak a few things, we could really be 5-0. So just knowing that we were beating ourselves, it wasn't just the teams we were playing, and knowing that the schedule that we have, we're very familiar with the teams and what they run. So it should be
Chase brought a friend with him there.
I know. Should be a good 5 weeks.
Noah, you guys had some younger guys. I think I got our friend there. He went to be with Jesus. You guys have some younger players this year. You have to replenish a little bit. And sometimes younger guys don't understand that the margin of error is just very small in 5A, 6A football. Is that something you think they've kind of realized these first 5 games and now they understand that every little thing has to count?
Yeah, I think they've settled in a little bit. And with new guys, they fly around. They know they want to play hard for the team, and I think they've settled, and they've become a lot more disciplined.
And offensively, Quaid was kind of the eye of the storm. People kind of watched him and maybe were a little critical at first because he was coming from a smaller school, but he's really evolved pretty quickly. Chase, what has he done better each week that encourages you?
Yes, sir. He's been very vocal in the film room, even on the field. He's been a very good leader and just keeping everybody up, even though some people might not be doing the best job. He's letting them know, keep working, I got your back, and then he's just showing on the field. He's been putting in a lot of work, and I'm excited to see what he has for the district.
You've been around the offense for 5, 6, 7 years since you were a middle school guy, and Coach has mentioned this. Your offense is not an easy one just to walk in, and especially for the quarterback, just to wrap your head around. How have you tried to help him kind of get used to what he needs to do every play, every series?
Yes, sir. He's a very, very smart person. He's hardworking, so he was here during the spring, and he learned the offense just like that. So just not just getting better at what you do, but getting better at how you're supposed to do it.
I know defensively, one thing early on, you guys had a little bit of trouble getting the other team off the field on 3rd downs. I think you've gotten a little bit better at that, especially against this offense you face right off the bat, middle and high. How important is that especially because they're going to stay out there on 4th down if it's manageable at all? How important are those 3rd downs going to be this week?
Really important. It all goes back to discipline. Like, we can't have any penalties or offsides or anything like that. We just have to stay disciplined and do our job.
I know one thing Coach has talked about, and part of this is you play a lot of Cooper, the emotions are a little bit different, a little bit higher maybe, a little bit more intensity, and that's one thing. And that, again, not that it's all young guys, but sometimes young guys have to understand, stay in your lane and kind of keep going. Is that something that you think they've picked up on now these last few weeks?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're ready.
I keep mentioning the young guys. The secondary is kind of what I'm getting at, because the front 7 have done your job, been really good. Midland may throw the ball. They may completely surprise me and come out flinging it around. But you're going to see passing games as you move forward. How important will it be for those guys to keep maturing each week?
Yeah, I think they've already done a good job of that. through our 5 non-district games. I think we're getting a lot better in coverage, and I think we'll only get better from here.
For both you guys, why is 2-6A so different? Why you've played really good opponents so far. You've played Lubbock Cooper every year. You played Byron Nelson a lot. But why is 2-6A? Why does that bring out the best in you, and why do you bring out the best in those 5 teams?
Just that it's been a district for so long, I would say, and everybody knows everyone. And then there's a bunch of rivalries within the district, and then just it being so spread out that whoever is playing good that month, that year, could really go and win the district.
What about you, know? Because you've heard me say this before, defenses get a bad knock in this district because you guys can play really well, but there's so many guys like Chase on the other side that sometimes those guys make plays. Why does 2-6A kind of light your fire?
It really brings like the fighter out of us, just to try to get better each week. There's a lot of good offenses in our district, and it just challenges us to do better.
And that starts Friday night, 7 p.m. at, I have to think about it, Astound Broadband Stadium in Midland, Texas. This is Randy Rosetta with HubCityPreps.com. That's been the Tiger Cracks video podcast, sponsored by Southwest Bank.